For 3 straight years, 2 teams have separated themselves as the class of Division II women's basketball. And for the 3rd straight year, they will meet in the East Regional Final. It's the California Vulcans and the Glenville State Lady Pioneers meeting in the Sweet 16 round of the NCAA D2 women's basketball tournament. Hello, everybody. I'm Ben Slazak, joined by Steve Kreider. And Steve, we're here at Hamer Hall, the number 3, the number 5 teams in the country. What more can you ask for in this level of basketball?
Tell you what a great win this should be tonight. I mean, we have 2 very, very high-quality basketball teams in Glenville State and California. And Ben, as you mentioned, these 2 teams meeting in the last 2 years of this exact game. Glenville getting the better of Cal in 2001-2002, but California returning the favor last year in 02-03. This one is the rubber match, and what a great one it should be.
Yeah, the home teams won every game, and coincidentally, 54 straight wins here at Hamer Hall. And let's talk about California. Utter dominance against Barton in the second round, and they got some numbers from some unsuspecting players.
Yeah, California had their normal balance, 4 players in double figures once again, but they got some added boost from someone they don't normally get a lot of offensive production from. We're talking about Aaron Dillon. Had 15 points in that game Saturday night against Barton. 5 for 7 from three-point range. Ben, she's known more of a role player, does the little things, plays defense, gets some big rebounds, but if Dillon can give another scoring boost the way she did Saturday night, this will help California so much.
5 3-pointers in that game. Also, Sarah McKinney in 13 minutes scored 14 points. She's recovering from that injury. Now, Glenville State, no slouch, number 5 in the country, went 18-0 in the WIVIAC regular conference. They have a couple good players, including the Player of the Year and the Rookie of the Year.
Well, when you talk about Glenville State, it all comes down to 2 players, really. And as you mentioned, Tracy Wyatt and Rachel Reddick. Wyatt, the 3-time reigning WIVIAC Player of the Year. She's just an incredible player. The point guard, she's a lot like Megan Stork. She's the catalyst in general. You look at Rachel Reddick really breaking out onto the scene of Division II basketball. Only a freshman is the Freshman of the Year in the WIVIAC. She's averaging 16 points a game, and she can just flat out shoot the 3. So these 2 players will be key for Glenville State.
Those 2 key players, a lot of good role players for Glenville as well. As we'll now take a look at the bracket, what's left out of the East region. Coincidentally, we're one of only 2 regions where the 1 and the 2 seed are meeting each other, and the winner will face either South Dakota State or North Dakota in the next round.
Yeah, you take a look at the 8 teams there at the beginning of the Eastern bracket, and you see some upsets in the beginning. The 5 team, Barton, knocked off UPJ, a couple other upsets, but when you look at the final end of the bracket, the 1 and 2 overall made it to this championship game, California and Glenville. What a game it will be.
Yeah, I think this is the game everybody wanted to see a couple days ago, and it really needs no more hype. The winner moves to St. Joseph's. The loser goes home. It's the 3rd round between these 2 teams. It's Glenville State. It's California. It's the NCAA Division II Women's Tournament, and it's next on CUTV.
Before John Daly agreed to be our spokesperson, he wanted to make sure our products met his high standards. '84 Lumber. Build on what we know.
Let's go punt.
If you want the best in sports coverage and the area's best food, there's only one place. Red Dog. Start out with a laundry basket of wings, and then take a shot at the Jamaican jerk chicken, the downriggers fish sandwich, or the double plate barbecue combo, my favorite. Red Dog! For the best food, atmosphere, and sports, there's only one place that has it all. Red Dog's All-Star Clubhouse. If sports is your religion, this is your cathedral. Located in Rostraver Square next to Walmart.
Ah, the kids are home for another summer vacation.
Good, make me one.
It's been months since you've seen them, and now you've got them all to yourself.
Mom!
Day in, day out, for the next 15 weeks. Why not summer school at California University of Pennsylvania? We've got a wide variety of day and evening classes conducted over 5 and 10-week sessions. Lots of exciting undergraduate and graduate classes to choose from, and registration is a snap. Most courses will transfer to other colleges. So graduate early, on time, or if you've just completed high school, get a jump on your collegiate career. Check out our website at www.cup.edu or call us at 724-938-5840.
Bye, Mom!
Later.
Honey, where are my Bermuda shorts?
Did I mention we offer adult retraining and continuing education programs? Summer classes at California University of Pennsylvania. It's all about you.
Megan Stork, 5'4" point guard, Macungie, Pennsylvania.
Aaron Dillon, junior guard out of Feasterville, Pennsylvania.
Sarah McKinney, junior guard out of Duquesne, PA.
Samira Filial, senior power forward, Pittsburgh, PA.
Becky Simbach, senior forward, Johnstown, Pennsylvania.
There you take a look at Glenville State starting lineups. The Lady Pioneers from the WIVIAC coming in this year with a record of 29-3. Wyatt, the all-conference everything, three-time player of the year. Reddick, redshirt freshman, won that conference rookie of the year. And two capable scorers as well in Katie Martin and Carrie Triplett. Of course, the road to St. Joseph's. The winner of this game gets to go to the Elite Eight. Glenville State, led by Coach Steve Harold in his 9th season, a very good coach, does a lot of coaching videos, has really guided this team from nowhere into a national powerhouse, and they had quite the road to get to this to this East Regional Final.
Yeah, you talk about Coach Steve Harold right there. He's in his 9th season at Glenville, 5 straight winning seasons for this ball club. He's led them to 4 straight 20-win seasons, Ben. So this team also, along with Cal, very familiar with being in the winner's circle. And as you see Glenville warm up, they are in a very hostile environment tonight.
Yeah, there's about 2,500 screaming people here in Glenville. They started coming in, here in Hamer Hall, where California has won a record 55 straight home games here. Second in the country, only to Glenville's 61 in their gym. California led by the incomparable Darcy Vincent in her 4th year, 108-19 in those 4 years, 31-1 overall this year, 7 wins in a row, number 1 team out of the East, number 3 in the country.
Well, Coach Darcy Vincent, what a resume she has for this Cal team in her 4th season. Last year she captured her first ever East Regional Championship, and they're coming off a trip, Ben, to the Final Four, where they lost to a very, very good North Florida team. Coach Darcy Vincent, you look at her, she picked up all kinds of awards and hardware to add to the mantle this year. She was named the PSAC West Coach of the Year, and she also was named the Russell Athletics WBCA Regional Coach of the Year. Impressive.
Both these teams come in with impressive NCAA tournament records. Both schools in their 3rd trip to the NCAA tournament, and both teams, Steve, 7-2 overall in those tournament games. So it's very scary how these teams are a mirror image of each other.
Absolutely, and now we're going to look at some games from previous of how these two teams got here. You take a look at Glenville State. They came off a very, very scary game, Ben Slazik, against Anderson. Glenville had control of that game most of the way, and Anderson at the very end made one heck of a comeback to cut the lead, but on final shot, Anderson was not able to take that lead, and Glenville is now here tonight, ready to take on the Vulcans.
Yeah, you mentioned Glenville, Tracy Wyatt, their all-region everything. In that game, only 8 points. It really didn't show up very much in the box score. In the first game, when they played in the first round, she had a triple-double, so she's definitely somebody you have to look out for.
Yeah, she has struggled a little bit in this tournament, Ben, so tonight, if Glenville is going to stay with California, they're going to need a big game from her, as well as the all-freshman PTP or Rachel Reddick.
In the first round, they defeated West Virginia State 74-64. The all-time matchup, all-time series between these two teams, 3-1, California with the advantage, and California right now riding that win from last season. So we'll take a look. Right now the starting line's being announced, and the fans are really giving it to Glenville players. They're in the blue and the white as you take a look at 22 Rachel Reddick momentarily. And California, let's take a look how they got here, Steve. Yeah, a big win over a very game Barton team, but they were outmatched early on.
Well, yeah, California, where you look at Glenville, they've struggled through this regional so far. California has dominated, and you see in the regional semifinal there against Barton, just a domination, 92-58, and they got offense from everywhere, whether it was McKinney at the foul line area, whether it was Filia or Simbach inside, whether it was Aaron Dillon, who had a huge game from beyond the arc, or whether it was Megan Stork knocking down the long shot. It was a balanced effort by the Vulcan team.
Yeah, California shot nearly 53% in that game, 46% from behind the line. You mentioned Dylan, 5 of 8 from three-point range, and McKinney, coming off the hip injury she suffered in the first round against Charleston, had 16 points in only 14 minutes. So she's healthy, she's ready to go. Coach Vincent did a nice job of protecting her in that in that last game.
Well, you know, Ben, I'm looking over the stats before this game. What do I see that jumps out? Glenville State, an excellent free throw shooting team. When they go to the foul line, they are almost guaranteed to knock those shots down. When you look at California, they're an excellent rebounding team. So we'll see whose major strength comes into play the most. Will it be California's domination on the boards, or will it be Glenville State taking the ball to Cal, getting to the line, and converting?
And hopefully California can counteract those strengths of Glenville. California was 18 of 19 from the line two nights ago against Charleston, whereas Glenville was out-rebounded in both games early in this tournament. As the California starters and announcers get into the huddle there, their bench players, everybody is pumped for this game. Steve, it's your first regional final, my second. I love the atmosphere at Hamer Hall. Fans are loud. They were tailgating early. The students are back from spring break. The stands behind us are packed. Cannot wait for this game.
Well, this is unlike any environment I've ever seen. I look into the stands. It's like, where's Waldo out there when you're trying to find somebody you know? I mean, you just can't see anybody. There are so many people here, both from Glenville. They brought a great crowd up. California is filling this gym as well. And Ben, talk about what's on the line tonight. It's a trip to St. Joseph's, Missouri.
And these two teams represent the last two teams to come out of the East Region. California last year, Glenville 2 years ago. As you get set for tip-off, Glenville will be wearing the blue and white numbers. California in the home whites with the red and the black. Tipping off for California will be number 23, their all-conference player, Samira Filia, going up against number 00, Katie Martin, a 5'9" senior out of Carlton, Michigan, a transfer from West Liberty State this year. California loses the tip into the hands of Triplet, and Glenville will control to start.
And you can expect tough man-to-man defense by this California team.
Driving in, that's Reddick. She loses the ball, and Simbeck with an early steal. Stork looks to push. Filia, foul line. Simbeck, elbow jumper. That's off the mark. And a nice rebound by Carrie Triplet.
And I don't expect either team to come out and light the barn on fire shooting, because, I mean, this is a huge, big-time game, Ben. A lot of nerves probably running through these two teams.
Reddick for three. That's short, barely catches iron. And McKinney goes the other way. Filia ahead of the play. Can't bring it in. She saves the ball to Dylan, and Cal will reset. McKinney for three. In and out. Simbeck was held, but still pulls down the rebound, and she has played a fabulous 2 games. You can't say enough about her work ethic underneath.
Well, did you see that unconventional box out? The player's back for Glenville was to the basket. Should have been a foul right there, but Filia, a great job to attack the boards.
Little lob pass down low. McKinney squares up. She can't find it. Offensive rebound, Simbeck, and it's blocked from behind by Jenny Campbell. And California will have the ball with a fresh shot clock. 18:54, just a minute into the basketball game, and we're scoreless.
And we talk about rebounding. You see California hitting the offensive boards early. They out-rebound opponents by almost 20 to 30 rebounds a game.
Filia faces the basket, 16 feet away, puts it down. Great first step and draws the contact. And California taking it right to Glenville early on.
She is a 6-foot inside player, Ben, that is as quick as many guards in all the nation. She just put a move right there down low on Mills that, I mean, just absolutely shook her out of her shorts. And what a great take to draw the foul as well.
First free throw up and good from the senior out of Westinghouse High School. The foul was on Martin, her first. Filia 64% from the line. 2-2 from Filia, and California leads by a deuce.
And Filia only a 64% shooter, Ben. As you mentioned, every free throw, every point in this game will count.
Stork right in the face of Wyatt, who's 11th in the country at 6.7 assists a game. Near steal by Filia.
And Ben, is California in a little bit of a matchup zone?
Yeah.
It appears to be a little 2-3 matchup zone, changing it up. Glenville, I'm sure, probably prepared for a tough man-to-man.
Wyatt, as the shot clock winds down, misses off the back rim. McKinney boards, and she looks up.
Let's see if Cal pounds it down inside low.
They've gone to Filia both times on their previous series. And Stork will slow things up. Stork needs only 2 assists to break the single-season assist record here at Cal, held by Lori Reichendorfer. Now McKinney goes to the rim, and she'll draw the foul. California getting right in the head of Glenville early, saying you cannot stop us one-on-one.
Right, you talk about Megan Stork, Ben, only needs 14 points to get 800 for her career. That's an incredible accomplishment. As you see Filia right there get checked up front. But Stork, as Megan Stork goes, this California team goes, she is so important to this team. She has to play well tonight.
And that foul was on Katie Martin, so she has 2 quickly. So that's a big plus for California. They'll get another foul. And this one looks like it'll go against Wyatt.
Well, Glenville's doing a poor job of moving their feet on defense. They're not getting position, and they're trying, as you see right there, Tracy Wyatt, they're trying to body check the Vulcans instead of move the feet and get into position.
17:58 left to go. And a foul off the inbound pass. I was about to say 17, now 57 to go in the first half. And that's 14 fouls already on the Lady Pioneers. That one on number 30, Katie Weimer, her first.
Well, Glenville only goes about 7 or 8 deep, so if these fouls continue to add up, that's going to be a concern for the Lady Pioneers.
McKinney, little shake and bake move is good, and that is just impressive. 4-0 California.
And Ben, that's going to be a concern too right there. Sarah McKinney, can anyone stop her?
That hip looks to be okay tonight, Steve. Now Reddick to the corner for 3, triplet. Can't get the ball, and Filia with a great box out. Stork pushes 3-on-2. Little bounce pass in transition, leaning in nicely with McKinney. 6-0 California as the crowd erupts.
That's when they're at their best, when Megan Stork gets the ball out into transition. They have people filling the lanes, and McKinney right there, the beneficiary of the Stork bounce pass. 6-0 Cal.
That tied a school record right there, Steve. Now Reddick, the best 3-point shooter on this team. They're having trouble against this zone.
Well, Glenville right now looking for someone to step up and make a big shot to get them off this goose egg. Who's it going to be? Is it Reddick, Wyatt? Who will take the shot?
And that's triplet, and she will knock it down. It's now 6-2. And the big difference between this Glenville team and California's other opponents, the other opponents were more inside. They had more post strength. For Glenville, it's just the opposite. Their strength is definitely in the guard position, not much of a post game.
And that's why rebounding will be such a key, as you see McKinney take the shot and the miss, but offensive rebounding. Can Glenville limit California's offensive rebounds?
Glenville looks to get back into this lead. It's 6-2 California, 16.5 to play.
And now you see Cal into that straight man-to-man tough defense.
This is Jenny Campbell, no threat away from the basket. Great defense by Simbeck, and the strip by Becky, and a steal by Stork.
Great job by Simbeck to move her feet and get into position.
Dylan thought about the triple. She's open again. Filia backs it out. Stork will take the 3. Ichiban.
It is tough. Coach Steve Harold for Glenville might want to think about a timeout here. His team is starting off a bit shaky. They look like they've been knocked back on their heels, Ben. They need another big basket.
It's 9-2 California. Under 16 to play. I think Coach Harold might be waiting for that dead ball timeout, which we'll have right now as they'll turn it over. Ball goes into the stands, and California at their best right now. They lead 9-2 at the 15:50 mark of the first half.
Well, Ben, when the Vulcans get leads like this, they hardly ever relinquish them, and this is not a good sign for Glenville. I'm sure Coach Steve Harold in the pregame talk to his team said, listen, we need to come out and we cannot let the Vulcans get out to a lead on us early. And that is exactly what has happened. Cal jumps out to a 9-2 lead. They've established their pace.
How about this stat, Steve? One time this year, California has blown a lead of more than 8 points.
Yeah, that is absolutely incredible. And you look at the unselfishness. Filia double team. She sees people so well. And then Megan Stork, knock it down, please. And if the perimeter is open, if they can knock down the 3-pointers tonight, Cal, they'll be unstoppable.
14 fouls already for Glenville, and that's got to be concerned as well. It seemed like anytime California got the ball anywhere near the block, Glenville's only recourse was to get a hand on a hand, arm on an arm, and they're not that deep, as you mentioned, especially in the front court.
Well, I'm sure the WIVIAC, the conference that Glenville State plays in, I'm sure they're a fine conference and all, but they have never, I guarantee you, seen a team like this Vulcan team as far as athleticism and overall talent. This is just a team, the Lady Vulcans, really, as we've mentioned before, an all-star team, basically.
As Glenville, hopefully, for their sake, got something going on the silence, Coach Harold maybe telling them they got to buckle down because 10, 15 points, Steve, it's ball game. Forget it. Forget it.
Well, Coach Harold for Glenville, I mean, I'm sure most of these Cal fans, I'm sure Coach Darcy Vincent won't be asking him to dinner after the game, but he is a good coach in his own right. Let's see what he did, what adjustments he's made.
It's Filia isolating now on Campbell, little step back move. And there's a nice steal on the play by Reddick. She knocked down the attempted outlet there from Filia.
And I'll tell you what, looking at Rachel Reddick, she leads this team in scoring, 16 points a game. She looks a little nervous, only a redshirt freshman, probably the biggest game, one of the biggest games she's ever played in.
5'8" out of Franklin, PA, and there's Tracy Wyatt showing what she can do. Averages 15 in her own right, and that lead is now 9-4. Filia ahead, jump stop. That'll do it for the record.
Yeah, somebody better get back down the floor for Glenville. They cannot take any possessions off. When they score, they better not celebrate. They better run back down the court as fast as they can.
That's 4 for Filia. It's 11-4 California at the 15-minute mark. Reddick, Dillon in her face, kicks it over to Wyatt. Sliding down low. I thought that was a travel, and they're going to get Dillon on the foul as Reddick went up for the shot.
Well, I like the matchup right there, Dillon on Reddick. I like that to favor California. Reddick, probably the purest shooter on this team, and Dillon at 6'2" can really alter and bother shots. There she picks up the foul, but Dillon's, her job is when Reddick takes that three-pointer, get a hand up and contest every shot.
Reddick, a 79% shooter, knocks the first one down, 2 of 2. So you mentioned how good this team is, 78.5% from the line, 6th best in the country.
Well, if you're going to play Hack-A-Pioneer, it's probably not a good idea because they all can knock down free throws.
There's Erin Dillon off a little skip pass from McKinney. That's no good, but it's pulled down by Sarah McKinney. She is fouled down low, and they're going to get, I think that's Campbell on the floor getting up. That will indeed be her first foul and the team's 5th.
Yeah, McKinney really got bailed out here. She tried to go to the baseline. There was absolutely nothing there, and they got the block. Maybe a phantom foul. Looked like she might have traveled, but a bailout for California.
Dillon comes all the way around off the screen, and there's a bad pass by McKinney. It's picked off by Reddick. She doesn't have numbers. She'll pull up 17 feet away, and that's a sweet stroke there from the redshirt freshman. 11-8, California up by only 3.
Well, she is a great prospect. Bad pass by Stork.
2-on-1 the other way, Reddick and Wyatt. Reddick gives it up to Wyatt. Nice head fake and the foul.
What a great fake by Reddick. When we roll this back and show you the replay, I'm going to show you what she did to really make Stork overcommit, and a great dish to Wyatt. Freshman of the year to player of the year, Ben.
And in the meantime, Erin Dillon just picked up her 2nd foul as well.
Watch right here, Reddick. She first gives a little fake, comes back. Stork overcommitted to Reddick, and then she finally dished it to Wyatt, who knows how to finish, and Dillon will be sent to the bench with 2 fouls.
Lisa Gattuso, number 11, 5'11" sophomore of Elwood City, checks in. Wyatt, front rim no good, and Simbeck rebounds, so not able to tie the game up. We're at 11-10, 14 to play, first half from an SRO crowd here at Hamer Hall.
Well, Glenville State, Ben, dodged a major bullet. They got back into this game and have made it respectable again.
Jump step from McKinney. How are you going to stop that, sir? 13-10.
Sarah McKinney just too tough, a tough matchup for any of these Glenville players. No one on this court can match her one-on-one. It's just a matter of help, defense, and containment.
Be interesting to see how deep Coach Vincent goes to that bench. Probably no more than 7. 3-point attempt is up. That is way off the mark from Weimer. Ball's on the floor. We're going to get a held ball. The arrow will go to California.
Yeah, a totally ill-advised shot right there by Katie Weimer. But to her credit, Ben, I've watched her play in these last 2 games in the regional. She has not missed a shot. She is one of the deadliest shooters that Glenville has as a 6-foot post player. So for her tonight, she gives them about 10 points a game anyway. So they will need her contributions tonight.
She had 23 in the win against Anderson, as Filia backs it out to Stork. Megan puts it on the floor, and they'll kick it back out. 16 to shoot. Simbeck, little hook shot is good. Nice post move from the reigning player of the year. It's 15-10, and here comes that half-court trap.
Yeah, this was very successful in getting turnovers against both Charleston and Barton, but this Glenville team experienced.
They have 4 or 5 players that can handle the ball, so this is where California's got to be careful. They're not dealing with just a 1-guard or a 2-guard team.
Reddick, she does not look like she wants to handle that ball. She is more of a spot-up shooter, maybe a 1-dribble and pull-up.
Wyatt, little pull-up move, that's no good. Great defense there from Stork, but then Filia had the ball tipped and it's stolen by Glenville.
And already a lot of turnovers for California as they get rebounds and try to go into transition. They could have 5 to 10 more shots right now if whoever got the rebound for Cal would secure the ball and make a solid outlet pass.
Reddick in the corner, 15 on the shot clock. Triplet. She'll skip it over to Wyatt. She'll put up the 3 and nails it. That was a big-time shot from a big-time player. 15-13, 12-20 to play. Filia ahead again. Somebody's got to wake up, Steve. 4-point lead for California.
Well, Glenville, Coach Steve Harold has to be beside himself, and he's sending a substitute into the game right now. Somebody please get back. You know California, what they want to do is run up and down the floor.
And Wyatt is forced to call a timeout. Great trap there by McKinney and Stork. It'll be a 30-second timeout. 12:06 to play here in the first half. California leads by 4, 17-13.
And what is the difference right now in that 4-point lead for Cal? It has been 2 runouts by Samira Filias. Nobody has gotten back for Glenville State, and that's the difference, or we'd have a tie ball game right now.
Yeah, it's like you said, they're admiring their shots on the other end against this California team. You can't sit and appreciate what you just did. Your butt's got to be hustling back across half court. That's why so many teams can't hit the offensive glass against California. They miss the shot, don't get the rebound. It's a 3-on-1 back the other way before you can even blink.
Well, California sends 4 players to the glass with the exception of Megan Stork. She sits out there and waits for the outlet pass. Whoever gets the rebound for Cal, trained to get it to Stork and fill lanes.
Number 20, Triplett, will inbound from right in front of us. And gets it off to Wyatt, and California looks to set that trap up again. No 10-second count women's basketball. Wyatt can spend all day back there if she wants. In the corner, 3 ball is up and good from Rachel Reddick. She now has 7 points, 17-16.
Well, the scouting report says get a hand in Reddick's face. California has not done that so far. And Erin Dillon, it was her job to contain Reddick by contesting shots. She is out of the game on the bench with 2 fouls.
Simbeck puts it on the floor, offensive foul.
Yeah, good call right there. Who was that, Simbeck?
Yes.
Is that who it was? Yeah, she took it into the lane. Just a little bit. See right there, good job by Triplett to slide over, getting good position, and then take the brunt of that hit by Simbeck.
TV timeout on the floor, 11:37 left to go first half. California up by only a point, 17-16. Go back a couple years at Glenville, 78-58. California lost last year on this floor. California was victorious 76-67. We knew it was going to be a close game. There are no bad teams left in this tournament. You're down to 16 from the 244 that started at the beginning of the year. You're dealing with a lot of ranked teams, and the winner of this game will face either the number 6 ranked North Dakota team or the number 10 ranked South Dakota State team.
Yeah, and you look at those 2 teams, North Dakota and South Dakota State. Interestingly enough, Glenville State earlier this year played North Dakota State, which is not one of the 2 teams we just mentioned. Kind of a little bit of a blur there, but North Dakota State in that conference along with South Dakota State or North Dakota. So they have some familiarity with someone in that conference if they were to get by the Lady Vulcans tonight.
All the Dakota teams very good.
Yes,
South
they
Dakota
are.
State, the defending national championship. Matter of fact, them and California, the only 2 teams left from the Elite 8 last year, still alive in this year's tournament. 2 teams California played were out in the first round. Bentley left early, Washburn left early. It's a lot of fresh face in the Elite 8, but you got 2 grizzled veterans right here on the floor.
Well, when you talk about a Coach Darcy Vincent coached ball club, I mean, it's almost like the Duke Blue Devils in Division I basketball. It's rebuild and reload.
Reddick ahead of the play, but misses the gimme. Great defense back by Stork to alter the shot, and now she'll look to cross over. Pulls up 15 feet away, back rim, no good. Strong rebound by Filion, they'll reset.
Yeah, maybe an ill-advised shot by Stork. A little bit too quick. Coach Darcy Vincent wants a shot within the offense.
McKinney will take that shot within the offense, 16 feet away. She is just missing those, Steve. That's about the 3rd one she's rattled in and out. California holding on to this 1-point lead.
Well, for McKinney, most of the time, it's just a matter of time before she finally finds that golden touch. Gets about 18 points a game.
Remember a few weeks ago against Indiana, she made 13 straight. Driving down is Weimer into the corner. Shot is up and good. 3 ball made by Christy Altop, a freshman, 5'9", out of Palestine, West Virginia. Huge shot gives Glenville the lead. Stork leans in and has it knocked away by Weimer.
Well, for California on the defensive end, I do not know what's going on. There is some poor communication out there. Both players went with the screener. Nobody stepped out on the 3-point shooter.
Altop really only a role player as well, about 3 points. Again, there's a nice high-low play, and
no
help was Carrie Triplett.
The defense for California breaking down right now. No backside help there by Simbeck.
Skip pass from McKinney and Gattuso, and Stork will back it out with 20 on the shot clock. 10-15 in the half. Glenville now build themselves a 4-point lead, 21-17. Steal. And it's Reddick going the other way. She's back one-on-one with Filion, and she'll take it to the rim, leans in.
What a shot.
Can't convert. The ball is loose, and it will be Glenville State College ball.
And this has been tough. What a job by Glenville to really get back in this game. pull out and take a lead. Ben, I'm used to seeing California dominate teams, and I'm almost surprised that Glenville's coming back. I shouldn't be. The number 5 team in the nation and an excellent ball club.
Ball on the floor yet again. The jump ball this time will go the blue and white of the Lady Pioneers. As we pass the midway point in the first half, 9:56 on the clock, and California for the first time this tournament trailing. Inbound pass wide open was Triplett, and that lead is now 6.
Coach Darcy Vinson might want to think about a timeout. She needs to talk to her team about communication. I know there are a lot of screaming fans in here, but nobody on California talking, communicating screens.
McKinney to the post. Filyaw finds Simbeck 15 feet away. That's off the mark. Tries to run it down, but the ball's brought in by Althoff.
And a smart play to hold that up to get it to Wyatt and set the offense.
California was down last year. Steal by Stork. She got 2-on-1 with McKinney. She'll give it up. McKinney lays it in. She has 8 points, and that lead is down to 4, 23-19.
Excellent steal by Megan Stork. That's what she does best. One of the leaders all time here at California in steals, the armed robberies.
She's already broken the single season record in steals and assists this year. Wyatt dribbles all the way through and lays it in. What a move by Tracy Wyatt.
Big time players step up in big time games, Ben, and Tracy Wyatt, this is the stage that she wants.
Wyatt leads all scorers now with 9. Viljans wide open, takes a 17-footer, can't get to fall, as there's some grappling going on underneath there with Katie Weimer and Becky Simbeck.
An excellent box out, something Glenville was not doing earlier in this game. Now they are starting to box out very well and pull those rebounds.
Danny Mills is at the scorers table getting set to check in for the Vulcans. As Reddick now guarded by McKinney. 12 on the shot clock. That's really a touch foul, Steve, and that was a good job of acting there by, I believe, Katie Weimer.
Yeah, I wasn't watching that play. I was watching Reddick thinking that she was going to maybe pull up and shoot that one. But that is a tough foul right there on Sarah McKinney, and now Gattuso will head to the bench.
It'll be Danny Mills in the game, maybe getting a little bit more defense out there as Coach Vincent going with her starting 5 minus Dillon. It's Mills in the game now.
Better job right there by Cow on that same inbounds play. Glenville tried it again.
As now Reddick sets the offense up, 25 on the shot clock, coming up on the 8-minute mark of the first half. Kenny's got to be careful not to pick up that second foul. She'll get back out to Wyatt.
Rachel Reddick, who has the ball right now, a lot like JJ Reddick off the Duke Blue Devils men's team, relies a lot on screens to get open and knock down that three-pointer.
Oh, I think Reddick can take it off the dribble just a little bit more. Good rebound by Mills on the defensive end. Gives Cal the ball back. Stork backs it out.
When you look at scoring, both teams have 4 players averaging in double figures, so that about negates itself. It's going to be the role players tonight.
Filyaw with a high runner off the glass. That's no good. A good, strong rebound by Althoff, who's getting some major minutes early in the first half, Steve.
And these Lady Pioneers understand they're not going to out-jump this California team. To out-rebound them and to really battle on the boards, they have to be solid in boxing out, and they're doing that so far.
There's Reddick with a little crossover. It runs right into Simbeck. Phenomenal low-post defense there from Becky, and she's going to throw it over the half-court line. This will be an over and back call. California gets it back, and that should be a TV timeout. 7:19 left to play first half, and the Vulcans in the unfamiliar position of trailing to Glenville State. They trail by 6, 25-19.
Well, this is a huge test, Ben. We talk about that Vulcan home winning streak. They're 18-0 this year at home, and these fans here, these California fans, have not seen anything on this court at Hamer Hall but victories in the last 3 years. So Glenville State, to have them down by 6 right now, it's really a shock to everyone.
And to give Glenville some credit, they are a very good road team, 11-2 on the road. Technically a neutral site, but California, of course, playing in the confines of Hamer Hall, 55 straight wins, and that home court winning streak in danger right now. They've had so many streaks broken this year with that loss to Shippensburg, longest conference streak, longest streak against PSAC West opponents. So many wins to start a season. And you hate to see California trailing, but you know they're going to get back in this game before it's all over. 6 points, not much. When you're dealing with a team with so much skill, one team is always that close to pulling away.
Well, they have too many athletes, California, to not get back into this game. And when you look at Cal, even if some players aren't having a good game, other people step up. You can bank. You can take it to the bank that at least 2 to 3 players for California every night will give you consistent scoring.
California last year against Glenville State, It was an unknown freshman named Lisa Gattuso who hit 2 humongous three-pointers late in the second half that really iced the victory, that 76-67 win.
And I think Gattuso needs to look for her shot a little bit more. She has the capability to shoot it 40% from three-point range, but she's been a little bit hesitant so far in this tournament.
She had a big game against Charleston, finished in double figures, but hasn't scored much since then. Stork with 20 on the clock. Phoenicia Clark has checked into the game.
It'll be interesting to see if Phoenicia Clark can give them some excellent minutes as she has all year.
What a clutch shot by Stork, a little step back 17-footer. The lead is down to 4.
And those are the shots that have gotten Megan Stork in trouble in the past. Coach Darcy Vincent, really not a big fan of that fadeaway that Stork shoots, but she definitely can knock it down when she's hot.
Loses her footing momentarily, and Wyatt gets off to Reddick, who's wide open behind a screen, maybe fouled, but it's rebounded by Phoenicia Clark.
And Glenville, you notice they're getting back well on defense, and there was a travel on Simbeck.
You and I both knew it before the whistle blew. That time Simbeck got caught in the position where she had an 8-footer or a layup and she couldn't decide what she wanted to do.
And this is nothing but adrenaline right here. This is the nerve to go along with the East Regional Championship. Simbeck has that ball. She sees the basket, wants to score so badly, just took the step too quickly. I
mentioned Phoenicia Clark in the game, arguably her best game as a California player last game against Barton. 4 of 4 from the floor, 10 points, 4 block shots. Now leads the team with 22.
Well, her and Aaron Dillon were the unsung heroes in that game. Both stepped up.
6 to shoot. Looking to drive is Altop, and now it's Weimer with a shot off the mark, and the long rebound goes to Stork, who loses control momentarily, and Coach Vincent says push the ball with 6 to play. Man-to-man for Glenville. Mills off the screen.
Sarah McKinney can take that shot anytime she wants, Ben. It's just a matter of when she does take it.
And she's decided she wants to be a three-point shooter here in this tournament as well. Made her first three-pointer in 2 years a couple games ago. Great bounce pass, 4 to shoot now. McKinney's got to look up. She'll heave it up 20 feet away. Just misses off the back iron, and it's pulled down by number 30, Katie Weimer.
And you don't see that very often from California. Most of the time, they're out in transition. The shot clock doesn't even get below 15, but right there, a near violation.
Stork again on Wyatt, and she finds Triplett. Reddick, who's been open behind the arc all night long, gets it inside. Altop bumps her way in. That's off the mark, and the ball is batted out of bounds. Simbeck wants to run. She's got a 2-on-2 with Stork. Stork, wise move there to back it out.
Yeah, excellent.
What a look. Simbeck lays it in. Great vision there from Megan Stork, and that lead is down to 2, Steve. 25-23, a 2-point game as we're under 5.
Well, you have to love playing with a teammate like Megan Stork. I mean, she can just see you wherever you are, knows where people are on the floor. Just an excellent facilitator of the basketball.
She had 14 assists against Barton. Reddick, leaner in the lane and hits. That's a tough shot, especially over Phoenicia Clark. It's now a 4-point game.
Well, Carrie Triplett gets about 12 points a game, and what a great move. Slash into the lane and pull up.
Stork comes off the screen. My mistake on the misidentification. Thank you, Citizen Kreider. Stork bumps in, and they're going to get the travel. Could have been a foul there, but the referee said the violation came first. Philyaw comes back in, replacing Becky Simbeck. As you take a look at some of the Glenville faithful, some of the loudest fans you will find this side of California.
I'll tell you what, these Glenville fans they bring up, they are very supportive of their ball club, but they are not afraid to get on the other team either.
Up the floor now comes Reddick. She has Wyatt, Triplett, Weimer, and number 24, Altop on the floor for California. Stork, Mills, Clark, Philyaw, and McKinney, and wide open and hitting the 3 is Carrie Triplett, number 20. She has 11 points.
Poor job by Sarah McKinney. I watched that play develop. A baseline screen right there for Triplett. McKinney wanted to switch on the screen. Phoenicia Clark, her defender, was setting the screen. Phoenicia Clark's not going to step out and cover that.
McKinney, great jump pass to Philyaw, who doesn't miss from there. 30-25, 3:40 to play.
And right there is why you don't take McKinney out of the basketball game. She makes plays like that and immediately makes up for it on the other end.
Her and Stork have yet to sit down in this first half. 3.5. As right now it's Reddick trying to get by Mills. Altop for 3. That's off the mark. Excuse me, that was Weimer, and the long rebound does go to Sarah McKinney. Stork looks to push quickly.
Phoenicia Clark should not let Weimer have that shot. Weimer has been deadly throughout this tournament so far.
53% on the year from the floor, leads his team in the top 5 in the conference. Stork gets caught again. McKinney 17 feet away off the front rim, and an offensive foul. As the referee's not letting a lot of that go tonight. Take a look on replay here, Steve.
Yeah, this is a huge change for California. They're used to letting the referees, basically swallowing the whistles. Anything goes, no blood, no foul. But
that
now,
was a poor call.
Yeah, they're calling even the touch fouls, the ticky-tacky fouls.
The foul is accredited, I believe, to Filya, her first. Team's 5th regardless, each team with 5 fouls. TV timeout, 3:07 to play here in the first half. It's a 5-point game. Glenville up 30-25 over the Vulcans.
And what strikes me right now is that Glenville is doing a nice job shooting the basketball. They're putting it up well. They're knocking down their three-pointers. California's done a nice job getting it inside, but from the outside, their shots have not fallen, whether it's been McKinney or Stork or Dillon. They've not been able to buy any from the outside. You'll have to see how long that lasts. See at the halftime break, maybe switching baskets will help California shooting get back on track.
Players are fickle about certain things. Some of them like to shoot at that hoop in the second half. Can't really shoot well on this hoop. And I think I alarmed a lot of people earlier about California maybe not letting this game get out of hand. They were down at several points against Glenville last year, not by much, but at the same 5, 6, 7 point margin. But they are, as you said, more than capable of going on a 10-12-0 run out of nowhere.
Well, this is uncharted waters for California. They're not used to being in a game that's this close, especially they're not looking up at the clock, seeing 3:07 left to play first half, and staring at a 5-point deficit.
I still think they should take it inside a little bit more, use
Absolutely.
those post players,
Absolutely.
because Glenville has the guards to run with California and defend. They don't have the post players, and we'll be surprised if Glenville gets that home run pass off this time.
And that all starts with Megan Stork. She controls the tempo. It's really her decision who gets the ball, so she has to get it into the post. Great screen right there.
Triplet got that was Katie Weimer who just got trucked by Lisa Gattuso. I go back to last year, there was a couple big screens in that game as well as Gattuso just knocks down Weimer, but that was a very impressive screen. Ball was tipped out of bounds to Glenville. Now on the left side, it's Alltop. She's in trouble. Great defense out high by Clark that time.
And these referees calling, little ticky-tack fouls, hand checks. They're going to have to be careful, as you see right there. California likes to pressure the basketball up top. They're going to have to watch the hand checks.
And that will be on McKinney reaching over. And she did have a pretty good hand on, I think that was number 20, Triplet. But you said no help on that play either. If that ball got through, that's an easy layup.
Well, California runs that high-low so well. They're used to torching other teams with their high-low. Now Glenville State turning it right back against them.
Simbeck back in replacing Phoenicia Clark. Long inbound pass with 2:40 to play, and Glenville up by 5, but they'll give the ball right back to California as number 24 Alltop zips that one through the hands of Wyatt.
And turnovers like that are inexcusable. Every possession in a game like this so valuable. The ball is so valuable that every possession needs to be taken care of with the highest quality.
And Glenville only turns it over about 13 times a game, so they know how to protect the ball. Gattuso comes off a screen. And now Stork tries the right side. She'll pull up. In and out again. Ball's loose before it's finally brought down by Triplet, and a foul is called. I think they're going to get Filya.
Yeah, there was a little arm lock right there by Filya, but I'm going to go back to Megan Stork. When she takes these shots, she has a tendency, Ben, I don't know if you see it, but I know I see it, and I know some other people see it. She tends to fade.
Yeah.
She tends to lean. That's going to be something she'll have to work on, and maybe that could be the reason why some of her shots are just slightly off. She needs to go straight up and down, come down on the same plane, not be fading or kicking that leg out.
Didn't see who the foul was on. They haven't updated the board. This foul will be on Filya. Her second. McKinney also with 2. As Triplet, an 84% shooter, knocks it down. 31-25 the lead. So California's also got to be careful not to get a third foul on one of those two players. And California's done an outstanding job of staying out of foul trouble for the past 4 or 5 games going into the postseason play. But tonight's a different story. It's the second shot up as well from number 20 Triplet, who now has 13 points, a game high.
And when they do struggle, California, what's the main theme? Foul trouble.
32-25. It's a 7-point ball game. Gattuso finds some room. McKinney slices in, no call on the flop, and Sarah McKinney with a little runner She is now in double figures, 27-32. California back down to a 5-point game.
Well, a bold move right there by McKinney already with 2 fouls. I thought she was going to pull up and take that jumper wide open, but very lucky the referees did not get her for the charge.
California with 17 fouls, Glenville with 6. And early on, it was Glenville had 4 in about the first 2.5 minutes. Stork, another near steal, as Wyatt leans in with that free arm. My word, and she'll lay it in. No call on the flop, 34-27 as Stork looks to push.
What a great left hand by Wyatt. No wonder a 3-time Wiviak Player of the Year.
Filia, baby hook of her own, and that's something that's hard to stop as well. 34-29 coming up on the final minute of play.
And you see right there, why Samira Filia was one of 4 Vulcans on the PSAC West first team. An all-star group, Ben, for both teams.
When you get down to this level, Steve, you're going to see 4 and 5 athletes on each team that could easily be playing D1 basketball. Top of the key, and an offensive foul call. They're going to get the illegal screen against number 30, Katie Weimer, and that will be her second foul. As we're under a minute to play, 57.5 seconds. It's California. See if they try and protect or get 2 possessions out of this. They trail by 5. Steve has made his way over. Talked to Coach Vincent at halftime. Feel for him right now. Stork open for 3 on the right wing is good. 34-32, it's a 2-point game, and now they'll call the foul. As Gattuso and number 22, Rachel Reddick, collide. Looks like the feet just got tangled up there, but now it'll be a 1-and-1 situation. Can we see that again, please? As Reddick will go the line for the 1-and-1, 79% shooter. Fouling Gattuso, her first. Many chances at the line tonight for Glenville's. We'll take a look, and that is, I'll be good. First shot is up and good. It's now a 3-point basketball game. Stork now has 8 points for California with 2 3-pointers. Reddick's second free throw is good as well, 36-32. It's a 4-point game, 40 seconds to play. Ahead again, Filia, that should be a foul, and she will get the contact. And Samira Filia will go to the line, shoot a couple. No fear out of California. Stork pushing it straight up the floor, trying to catch Glenville off guard here. Take a look, that was number 20 on the play. That's Carrie Triplett bumping Filia from behind, and that's pretty much been the defense that Glenville's had to play. Back to the play as Filia now 3 of 3 from the line with that make. She has 11, now leads all California scores. That lead down to 3, 36-33. 2 of 2 for Filia. It's a 2-point basketball game, 37 seconds left to play. 6-second differential. Here comes the trap. And Wyatt now has to face McKinney and Filia deep in the backcourt. McKinney lost her footing momentarily, and there's Wyatt just running right through. Wide open for 3 is Triplett, and that's huge. 20 seconds to play, and it's a 5-point game. 39-34, Simbeck to Gattuso, and a timeout will be called by Coach Darcy Vincent. A 30-second timeout, 14.2 seconds to play, first half. Shot clock is turned off, and it's a 39-34 game, 5-point lead for the Lady Pioneers from Glenville State College. Steve Kreider will have an interview with Coach Vincent at the half, as we'll take a look at that last 3 from Carrie Triplett, who on the season leads his team percentage-wise, 37% on the year, now 29 of 76, right in the mug of number 23, Filia, as Coach Vincent looks to draw something up here for the last shot of the first half. Glenville's fans have not sat down in the first half. And much can be said the same for the California fans. As you take a look at the second straight year Coach of the Year in the PSAC West, as Gattuso inbounds from right in front of me. Simbeck off the screen, Stork, another 3, that is short, and it's rebounded by Wyatt with 5 to play. 3 now, 2, just gets it off, this would count, it just rolls off the front of the rim. And for California, uncharted territory, they will go in the locker room trailing by 5, 39-34, only the second or third time this year that I can remember them trailing going into the second half. And right now, Steve is with Coach Vincent, and let's throw it over to Steve right now.
Coach, you find yourself down by 5 at halftime. Not a very familiar position for your team. What do you tell the girls at halftime?
Well, I mean, really, it's our defense breaking down. That's something we've been bragging on, and we're just having huge breakdowns. We're not really getting the switches. We're not seeing the shooters, and it's killing us right now. So we still got 20 more minutes. Hopefully our legs are going to be a lot fresher because of the type of game that we're trying to force them to play. So right now, it's just a matter we're down 5-0. Let's come out and let's get it done in the second half.
And 3 of their big players in Wyatt, Reddick, and Triplett have really hurt you so far, almost all in double figures. How do you stop them?
Well, I mean, we should be stopping them. Why we're not? I mean, once again, those are defensive breakdowns, and we know that's who's going to step up and play with the 2 seniors. We're taking bad shots. We're really not working the ball as well as we like, so we just got to address those issues and come out in the second half and play a better game.
Good luck, Coach. Ben, back to you.
Well, Steve, there is no tomorrow for the team that loses tonight. California trails by 5 going to the locker room, 39-34. A berth in the Elite Eight is on the line. Can Cal come back? We'll find out in the second half. You're watching Vulcan basketball on CU TV.
Before John Daly agreed to be our spokesperson, he wanted to make sure our products met his high standards. '84 Lumber. Build on what we know.
Let's go fun.
Let ZONA Tours put you on the road to fun and excitement. We make traveling a breeze, and with charters to destinations like Mountaineer Park, Wheeling Downs, and even Atlantic City and Las Vegas, ZONA Tours is the only name you need to know. Our big, beautiful motor coaches are spacious and comfortable, and we're family owned and operated. Give us a call and we'll have a ball. Call ZONA Tours at 1-800-833-4287. That's 1-800-833-4BUS.
Since 1852, California University of Pennsylvania has been a leader in providing a world-class education at an affordable price. Now California University is taking the lead again by replacing its student residence halls with state-of-the-art suite-style housing. Your new home away from home will contain all the technical and comfortable amenities of a 5-star retreat, ranking Cal among the country's leaders in student housing. See for yourself by visiting our website or by scheduling a visit. California University of Pennsylvania. Our mission is excellence.
How does an ordinary shirt like this become an extraordinary shirt like this? It's Battellini's, the Mon Valley's largest volume screen printing and monogramming specialist. Whether your employees need uniforms or the football team needs shirts, Battellini's can do it all with their state-of-the-art computerized monogramming equipment. And if your group needs a fundraising idea, Battellini's also carries 30,000 different promotional items like pens, water bottles, glassware, and more. For your next screen printing and monogramming job, call the one that does it all. Battellini's.
The road to success starts at California University of Pennsylvania. That road just got a lot closer with the opening of Route 43, which connects Route 51 to main campus. California has 2 other convenient locations in the South Point Technology Park and in downtown Pittsburgh. Visit our website or call 1-888-412-0479.
20 minutes and 5 points are between California and a trip back to the national championship and the Elite Eight in St. Joseph's, Missouri. Ben Slazek, Steve Kreider here as California trails Glenville State 39-34 here at Hamer Hall. Let's take a look at the brackets one more time, Steve, out of the East region, where these 2 teams, number 1 and number 2, everything it was supposed to be, but a little bit different, a little bit more of a different result than what we expected.
Well, this one's for all the marbles. Glenville State obviously, worked very hard to get to this game. California somewhat breezed through. And right now, the old 1-2 classic matchup, it has proved to be everything we expected and more. Glenville State leads by 5 right now, but you better believe that Coach Darcy Vincent will have these Lady Vulcans ready to roll here in the second half.
And you have some numbers from the first half as well, Mr. Kreider.
Well, it's been relatively even. The shooting has been about the same, 51% for Glenville, 48% for Cal. Assists about the same, number of turnovers about the same. Cal a slight rebounding advantage, but the only stat, Ben, that really sticks out is Glenville, 5 for 10 from three-point land. California only 2 for 5.
And California will inbound the ball. They'll be going left to right to start the second half. That three-point shot so huge, Steve. And three-point shooters for California. The big one, Dillon, sidelined early in the first half, played only 6 minutes after picking up her second foul. Both teams will have their starting 5 back on the floor as California looks to make another trip to the Elite 8.
It's something that's very interesting. A lot of fouls called in the first half, but not a lot of free throws.
And Sarah McKinney is starting to establish herself early in the second half. The lead down to 3, 39-36.
And what California needs to understand is they switch back into that zone, which has been effective. They need to understand they don't need to come back and get this all back at once. Chip away.
And there's great hands from McKinney stepping into the passing lane, and she'll get off to Stork. See if they spot Dillon up somewhere in the sequence. McKinney knifes her way through, can't get the ball, and they're going to call her going over the top. It'll be McKinney's third foul, Steve.
Yeah, that's 3. That's really big right there. Something Coach Darcy Vincent did not want to happen. And let's see if California comes up here, steps up the pressure, and really turns things on, as you're going to see McKinney come over the back. For the first time I've seen California play, Ben, in the first 20 minutes, they looked timid. They looked afraid to make plays. They really looked like they were at the mercy of this Glenville team.
Reddick breaks the press, and Wyatt will slow things down. Nice look underneath to Reddick, and she'll lay it in. Rachel Reddick now with 10 points, leading scorers in the game. Triplet with 16 for Glenville, 12 for Philyaw for California,
Cal just looks a step slow on the defensive end. They're just not rotating to the spots fast enough.
Simbeck will draw the foul. Thought we were going to see a held ball there, but the referee giving California the whistle.
Well, a good idea to try to establish inside. That's where your bread and butter has been. Simbeck and Philyaw down in the low post.
That foul on number 20, Triplet, her second foul, first team. As the inbound goes deep to Simbeck. Philyaw backs her way all the way into the post. Little jump hook is good. Samira Philyaw continues her scoring streak. She has 14 points, and the lead is at 3, 41-38.
You got to go with what's hot right now, and right now that is the inside game of Cal. You have to milk Becky Simbeck and Samira Philyaw as long as you can.
Back in that 2-3 matchup. Triplet gets it down to Campbell before she kicks it back out. Long pass, almost picked off by McKinney. And Reddick now only has 3 to shoot. Gets it deep, 2-1, just getting the shot off. It's an air ball, now be a shot clock violation as Triplet just couldn't hit the rim. Great defense that time for California out of the half court.
And that's the defense we're used to seeing from these Vulcans. In your face. I mean, they're even in a zone right here, and they're still active in the passing lanes, forcing tough shots, forcing tough passes.
41-38, 2 minutes into the second half. Stork, nice skip pass over. Simbeck with a better catch.
Glenville State's doing a great job denying the high-low of Simbeck and Philyaw.
Offensive rebound, Philyaw off the miss, and she traveled. No, they're going to call a foul. Was expecting the traveling violation there.
Yeah, that's an interesting call. Certainly looked like a travel from this perspective, but Cal will be able to now run an inbounds play. Let's see if they can get something easy off the inbounds.
That foul was on number 22, Reddick, her first. And we'll see number 30, Katie Weimer, check in for Katie Martin, who was banished to the bench 2 minutes into the first half in foul trouble. And Coach Harold not happy with her play to start the second.
Yeah, Martin gives this Glenville team about 8 points a game, but she has really been ineffective so far tonight.
Entry pass goes through McKinney's hands, does a nice job to get it back. And a tough finish in the lane. The lead is down to 1, 41-40, Steve.
Explain to me how you stop that. Sarah McKinney elevating, fading, but how do you stop this horrible job to get back?
Aaron Dillon, a little miscommunication with McKinney, allows the layup from Glenville. Lead back down to 3. McKinney, she'll square away, 17 feet is off the mark, and maybe a rush shot there from number 42.
If California does end up losing this game, they can look directly to a failure to get back on defense. It's something that hurt Glenville State earlier in the game. They adjusted. Now it's California that's not getting back on defense.
Campbell in the corner. That time a better job of switching from California. We've mentioned in the past the symmetry, almost seamless switches there. Little hesitation. Nice move by Tracy Wyatt. She has 13 points in the lead. Back to 5.
Are you kidding me, Ben? That's what the tournament's all about. Big time players. Wyatt, what a tough bank shot.
Philyaw backs her way all the way in.
And there's
3
in the
seconds.
key, no doubt about it.
Another turnover. California committed 8 turnovers in the first half. Glenville only 6. And the Lady Pioneers have a 5-point lead, 45-40, 16-40 left to go in the basketball game.
And the longer Glenville State leads, deeper into the game they lead, the more pressure is squarely on California on their home floor, expected to win. Huge shot right here.
That's off the mark. Simbeck pulls it down, and California has a chance to run. 3-on-3 with Stork leading the play. She'll go in with the right hand and draws the contact on Wyatt. Tough shot there from Stork. And those are tough. If she's going to make those kind of decisions when she didn't have numbers there and really an off-balance shot, the foul bailed her out, excuse me.
Well, you took the words right out of my mouth. I mean, she's very lucky she got that foul, because if she wouldn't have been fouled, that still would have been a tough shot to make. Megan Stork can definitely push the ball, can definitely do some great things, but sometimes she just needs to be a little more patient.
80% free throw shooter, the team leader, knocks it down as we'll take another look here, Steve. Great job by the wing players from Glenville to shut down the pass and forcing Stork to take that off-balance shot. Stork makes 2 of 2. The lead back down to 3, 45-42.
And it's just been back and forth so far from 5 to 3, a scoring fest. The question is, who's going to be on the drought first? Who will falter in scoring first?
Cal still in that matchup zone, that matchup 2-3. Stork, great hands with a steal. Open floor, she'll go up with the right hand and finish. Megan Stork with 12 points cuts the lead to 1 as Cal quickly gets back on defense.
That's what she can do. She can take it off of anybody in the nation. Megan Stork getting her team to within 1.
2 steals on the day for Megan. Now the crowd bouncing behind us, Steve. Have you ever seen Hamer Hall this full?
I have never. This crowd is unbelievable. They're going to be quiet right here, though, if Glenville can knock a shot down, but they are out and supporting their California fans.
Wyatt, step back 3 is off the mark. Strong rebound from Philyon. A good job by Cal to run the shot clock down. Stork to Dillon for 3. No. Off the mark, but a long rebound is brought down by Reddick. There's a little bit of hand checking going on between her and Dillon. A little hand-to-hand combat, Steve.
Coach Steve Harold for Glenville has to be concerned. His team is starting to settle for the outside shot rather than try to drive and dish.
And that's the first time we've also seen Dillon for California take that shot quickly instead of passing on it or giving that little head fake. Now Dillon on defense against Triplin. That's a tough leaner from the senior out of Summersville, West Virginia. The lead back to 3, 47-44, under 15.
In the first 2 rounds of the tournament, those shots were not falling for Glenville.
Philyaw off balance, may have been tipped, and Wyatt pulls the ball down and brings it up the floor for Glenville.
And Glenville, all they want to do is be patient. They don't want to do anything out of character. They want to work the ball around, drive and dish, maybe get an open shot.
Great steal from McKinney as she takes it right away from Reddick. 2-on-2 with Philyaw. Gives it off to Samir on the right side. Stork's open on the skip for 3. Just gets it. Oh!
No.
And they're saying Stork came down with the ball.
That was an excellent call right there by the official. An excellent call. If we have that, we'll roll it back. Stork's foot definitely hit the ground before she passed the ball. An excellent call. That's why these officials were picked to do this championship game.
A 3-point game as there's a timeout on the floor. California really getting back into this basketball game. The difference is still 3, 47-44. So we'll take a look at the best shot we have. And you could tell she came down with the ball.
Yeah, actually, you can't really see it in that picture, but her tippy toe was on the ground. The old tippy toe. But it was definitely on the ground before she passed that ball. An excellent call.
Just like football, basketball, a true game of inches.
Yes, it is.
3-point basketball game. Both these teams involved in a few close games this year on the season. Glenville State 5-1 in games decided by 5 points or less. California, on the other hand, 0-1 in games decided in 5 points or less. So you can tell Glenville just by that stat alone is more familiar with the rugged style where you're fighting for every possession, where California, second in the country with a 28 points victory margin, not used to being in these tight.
Well, basketball is such a game of runs back and forth. At the beginning of this game, California got out to a 9-2 lead, jumped out. Everyone thought they would be in control. Glenville, a poised team, an experienced team, fought back, and from that point on, it has been tooth and nail back and forth. Right now, Glenville holds the 3-point advantage. But Benny, I hate to steal a line from Dick Vitale, but this is a Maylock smasher, baby.
47-44, well played, Citizen Crider. 3-point game for Glenville, they'll bring up the floor. Wyatt Reddick will be in the backcourt for the Lady Pioneers. California still in this 2-3 matchup.
Back into that zone. Cal's played the zone well. Active hands. You see Dylan denying at the top.
Great job by Stork there on Wyatt, and a big steal from Dylan. And here comes a 2-on-1, Stork and Filyaw. Stork pulls up, step back to Dylan, and now McKinney off the swing is off the mark. Strong offensive glass and a great pass down low. Little dump down from Filyaw to Simbeck, and the lead is only 1.
And it was only a matter of time before the athleticism of this California team would catch up to Glenville State. You have to wonder, if you're Glenville State, how much longer can you continue to play and lead these Vulcans? Sooner or later, the size, the toughness, the athleticism inside is going to take its toll on the Lady Pioneers.
12 to shoot. Wyatt in the corner. Filyaw right in her face. What versatility Samir has guarding a guard out there. Nearly a travel. 2 on the shot clock. Reddick just gets it off and makes.
Are you kidding me, Ben? Are you kidding me? What a shot.
Biggest shot of the night for Glenville. They extend the lead to 4. It's 50-46 at the 13-minute mark.
And when good teams hit shots like that, they are tough to beat.
Stork
like that. I mean, it really is, Ben. We've talked about both these teams. It is an all-conference, all-star team out there for both squads.
And Megan Stork got to half court and just screamed at her teammate. The defensive intensity picking up, as is the crowd level. 2-point basketball game. Campbell at the foul line. Her shot is up and way off the mark. Rebounded by McKinney as she dribbles out of pressure.
Simbeck will hit that. Oh.
But Dylan in the corner for 3. That's long. Another great offensive board by Filyaw. Turnaround in the basket.
Oh. And that's in order. What a rebound by Samira Filyaw inside. Ben, I can't even hear myself think right now, but what a rebound it was by Filyaw. Took it up strong, got the foul.
That's about her 4th offensive rebound of this half alone, Steve. They have just dominated the glass in the second half, and we have a tie basketball game, 50-50, with Filyaw looking to put California ahead for the first time since midway through the first half, and indeed she does. 51-50. Filyaw now with 17 points.
And I mentioned in the opening, rebounding would be a huge key. This Glenville State team severely undersized and outmanned as far as athletes go.
Little entry pass and a nice layup there from Triplett. A better pass from Weimer, and the lead flip-flops back to Glenville, 52-51.
They've had an answer every time California has made a run.
I think that's a key. California not used to teams being able to do that. So now Simbeck looks for something on the left corner.
Offense for Cal very stagnant. We need some screens. There we go.
Nice move by McKinney off the screen. Leans in, no call. And Sarah McKinney has 16 points, giving the Vulcans the lead once again.
And this is going to be a seesaw battle back and forth. The question is, can either team make a little run, get a little breathing room? I don't see that happening.
Be a timeout on the next dead ball as we're at the under 12 portion, 11:20 to play. Wyatt, little pull-up jumper. That's off the mark, but an offensive rebound and a foul will be called on Simbeck. Very easily could have been over the back as well, and Katie Weimer will have a couple trips to the free throw line.
Well, Tracy Wyatt, an excellent look. She used the backboard to complete the pass right there. A nice pass. We'll call it a pass generously. And Weimer, fortunately, is there on the other end to put that back up. Simbeck got her on the foul. That's her second.
Weimer, the team's leader at 86% from the line, knocks it down, and we're tied again at 53. How many lead changes have been in the last 2 minutes, Steve?
Well, I'm about ready to get the Tums out, the Pepto-Bismol. I mean, my stomach is already churning. We still have 11:19 to play.
In regulation.
In regulation.
Free throw up and good. TV timeout, 54-53. Pioneers lead with 11:19 to play. What a basketball game. It's everything and more that we thought this would be.
Well, I mean, I'm basically speechless right now. We've seen such a good game between both teams. I mean, how do you measure this? How do you measure this game against other teams? Teams around the country can only hope, Ben, that their regional final has been as entertaining so far as this one. We have 2 great teams, 2 great coaches, 2 great programs, and a great atmosphere for this East Regional Final.
Yeah, these 2 teams, pretty much the class of D2 women's basketball on the East Coast for the better part of 5 years. Glenville's had a winning season, I believe, for 6 or 7 straight now. California, 3 straight conference championships. Last year, a trip to the Elite 8, a trip to the Final Four. And this year, nothing less than a Final Four appearance will be accepted. And it's in danger right now, trailing by 1, 54 to 53, as we see McKinney just leaning in, so graceful in the air. Body control, such an underlooked facet of good players, how they can just torque themselves in midair. And Sarah McKinney, one of the best that I've ever seen.
Well, so many of these Cal players fundamentally sound, but you bring up a good point, Ben, about the Final Four for California being expected. Last year we've documented they made it to the Final Four in St. Joseph, lost in the semifinal, national semifinal, to North Florida, and this year, amongst all the awards, all the honors, all the recognition that both the Cal team and Coach Darcy Vincent has received, a Final Four appearance, a national championship. If they do not make it to that level, it will be a disappointment this season.
Cal takes the ball at the 11-minute mark. Long skip pass to Dillon.
Dillon has struggled shooting the ball so far.
A lazy pass there from Stork. Quick hands from Wyatt, gets the ball back. And for the first time in a while, California not able to get any points out of possession. Reddick for three, that's off the mark. And McKinney and Stork battle for it. Great play there. But I believe that was McKinney to bounce it back in play. You got to focus out on the floor right now, Steve.
Well, that was almost disaster right there for the Vulcans. Every possession so important.
McKinney, a long jumper, rattles it down, and this time it falls in instead of out for Sarah McKinney. 18 points from the junior.
How can you not put somebody out there on her in the corner? She's wide open.
Vulcans back up by 1, 55-54, coming up on 10 minutes to play. Great defense in the corner. As now Triplett swings it back over. Altop hit a big three in the first half.
Tay, you better believe that Glenville State has played against zones before. They move the ball so beautifully.
Weimer misses, Simbeck rebounds. Dillon ahead in transition, thought about the three. Filyaw backs her way in. Simbeck to McKinney. She'll square up 14 feet away. Can't get the ball, and that's gotta be over the back, and that indeed is the call. The foul will go against Wyatt, and that's three on her.
And Samir,
great. Go ahead, Steve. You're going to say the same thing I am.
Well, Samira Filyaw, she just established great position down low. She got inside the defender, nobody putting a body on Filyaw or Simbeck for that matter. And it's so easy to get the rebound if you're Samira Filyaw. Great put in.
How many times have we seen Cal score off the inbound? And that was big. That put Cal ahead by 3, 57-54. Lead can't flip-flop right now.
And we talk about runs in basketball. California's on one of those mini runs. Glenville desperately needs a bucket.
Wyatt to Reddick inside. Triplett, who's really been the big scorer tonight. Now 10 on the shot clock. That looked like a travel. Jump step in the lane is short. Rebounded by Aaron Dillon. Great defense from Cal as they look to extend this lead. Filyaw, great catch inside. Oh my. And a timeout called by Coach Steve Harold as California begins to no-sell here in the second half. It's a 5-point game. 59-54, 9:08 to play.
Well, this place just, the roof was just blown off here after this great play. Stork, a very risky pass up ahead. There were defenders back, but Samira Filyaw just went up, got this ball, took it away from Tracy Wyatt, and then with a great finish as she does so well.
Samira Filyaw now with a game-high 21 points. I believe she's only missed one shot tonight. Full timeout called by Coach Harold as they're having some discrepancy at the table, but it's loud here right now.
Wow, it is absolutely loud. As one of my high school teachers would say, this is an absolute dog and pony show, Ben Slazik. Everybody is out tonight, yelling, screaming, cheering. I don't think any of us are going to have a voice by the time we go to class tomorrow.
This 5-point lead represents Cal's largest in about 14 minutes, Steve. And they waited a long time to get back ahead, but they did the right way. They didn't gun up the threes. They didn't push the ball in danger. They just sat back and waited till the play came to them. And what a talking to Coach Vincent must have gave them in the locker room, because they were a totally different team in this first 10 minutes than they were the last 10 minutes of the first half.
And it all starts on the defensive end. They have really, solidified that defense. They're starting to communicate. They're starting to switch screens, get out in shooters' faces. Glenville has not had the good looks that they had in the first half. Coincidentally, they're not knocking their shots down. So defense, you have to understand, was the emphasis of Coach Vincent at halftime. She was very unimpressed.
McKinney, as you saw there, 18 points. Stork, Dillon, Filyaw, Simbeck, McKinney on the floor. Stork and McKinney yet to sit down tonight.
This is a great run that Cal's put together, but can they sustain it? Or will they let Glenville cut back into this?
They're still in that zone. Now Wyatt takes a look. Little leaner in the lane, back rim no good. Ball is tipped. It's on the floor and held ball. The arrow will stay with Glenville.
Yeah, good hustle by Wyatt. She's the person you want to have the ball in her hands when you need a big shot to cut the momentum. Averages about 15, 16 points a game. Right there, she did a nice job to slash into the lane. Missed the shot, but good hustle to stay with it.
Wyatt, a 5'7" senior out of Kegley, West Virginia. Gets that inbound pass to Katie Martin, who's in for the first time in some time. Swing pass from Altop. Reddick for three. Rattles out and
a good rebound.
Flies, and that's no good, but a better rebound from Sarah McKinney as she'll dribble out of danger.
One thing I have noticed about Glenville, they utilize flare screens so well. That little flare screen to get the three-point shooter open, but the shots in the second half have not been falling. California's
biggest lead has been 7. It stands at 5, 59-54 at the 8-minute mark. McKinney, turnaround, unstoppable.
That's why, baby, that's why she's Daktronics first team All-East Region, PSAC West Player of the Year. You name him right off, Sarah McKinney, she will deliver.
She just Todd Carey triplet to the learning tree and took her to school, Steve. And now Wyatt and Stork battling on the right side of the floor.
What a great matchup that is. Wyatt and Stork, both players, so quick.
Triplet nearly picked up her pivot foot. Wyatt, nice little spin off, but a great help defense from Filya. Forces the bad shot, and Cal looks to run.
In California, if I was Megan Stork, I'd pull it up.
Oh, this goes. Three. Oh, just off the mark, and a foul on McKinney, and that'll be 4 on Sarah.
I think a better play right there would have been to pull it up, take the ball inside, get it to one of your PTPers, either McKinney, Simback, or Filya. Dylan has just not been able to find the mark today.
As Sarah McKinney, not the good time to pick up that 4th foul. 61-54 as we have a timeout on the floor. 7:23 left to play in the basketball game as Steve and I will catch our breath. What a matchup on the floor. This is what March Madness is all about. This is why this is one of the biggest spectacles in all of sports. No matter what level, what gender, the 2,500 people in this gym could argue this is the best thing they've seen in quite some time.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you're Glenville State, if Sarah McKinney walks out of that huddle and comes back on the floor, you attack her immediately. You go after her, try to pick up that 5th foul and get her out of the game because she's been the one to torch you so far. She has 20 points.
California's lead is 7, matches their biggest of the game. As you said, McKinney with those 4 fouls. And Coach Vincent wasn't very liberal with her bench in the first half. Mills played a few minutes. Gattuso really didn't even play that much. Kanisha Clark played maybe 5.
Well, Ben, I go back to my comparison. The California bench, I mean, it looks like that old food guide pyramid you learn about in high school. That top section, fats, sweets, and oils, they teach you to use them sparingly, Ben. And that's how California utilizes the bench. Very, very minimal time for anyone on the bench. Gattuso, the only player really seeing significant action. Maybe Kanisha Clark. Other than that, you can basically forget it.
And Sarah McKinney will stay in the game with those 4 fouls. She has 20 points. Filya 21, Stork with 14 to lead California.
And we talk about needing a big basket. Right now, Glenville desperately needs one. Good awareness by Wyatt to keep the dribble.
Reddick, little diagonal pass back to Wyatt. Martin, and they're going to call Simback with the body contact on the baseline. That's now 3 on Simback, the 15th foul on California.
And if you're Glenville, that's what you keep doing. You keep attacking all the players for California. See if you can get them on the bench or maybe fouled out of this game. Good inbounds play.
Martin gets free and hits her first basket of the game. 61-56, Steve. It'll be interesting to see what Glenville does to combat this lead for California. We saw Cal chip away. It seems like Glenville's content to do the same thing, not heave and pray. Now Filya runs the offense with 15 to shoot. Stork sets up. McKinney wants to post up. Turnaround jumper. This time rattles out, but Filya's there again, and she can't finish, but Simback does.
That's what rebounding will do for you. That's why they are so tough to beat. You have to have a flawless game. You have to have a flawless team that can not only rebound the ball, but shoot the ball, protect the ball. You need so many aspects to go right if you're going to beat this Vulcan team.
And holy offensive rebound, Steve Kreider. How many is that in the second half for Cal? Triplett leans in. That's off the front of the rim. McKinney is there again.
That's not going to get it done for Glenville. That is a leaning in shot, the old floater, and that's not going to get it done. That's not a high percentage shot. They need to either take a three-pointer where they're set or get it inside and take it to the Vulcan big people.
Filya 18 feet away. Looks to isolate on Triplett. Little jump step. Oh, you kidding me? And the foul. Not sure what the call is. Offensive foul. They're going to count the basket. Let's take it. Where is the? Can we roll that back one more time, please?
Well, who'd they get it on? That's what I want to know.
I think they gave it to Filya. No,
they gave it to Simback.
And she now has 4 fouls.
Well, if we can roll that back, I think I know what happened. Watch the left side of your screen. There's the nudge. Excellent call by the referee. She just gave her the nudge, a box out position. That's how California gets those offensive rebounds sometimes. Simback moving people out of the lane.
It's a 9-point game, 65-56, 5:45 to play. But Steve, that call wouldn't even be thought about being made in those first 2 games. Cal's got to play to the referees right now.
There's
little jumper in the lane by Weimers off the mark. Great tip out by Filya, and Cal looks to run.
And Glenville State, they have just gone cold. If this goes.
Stork for 3, that's off the mark, and it's brought down by Triplett. Stork wide open. That would have blown this roof right off of Hamer Hall, Steve. There's a 3 in the corner, and that's well short from Althoff. And McKinney got to be in double figures in rebounds tonight, as Stork wisely, a better move here, walks it up the court. She can take all day in the backcourt as we hit the 5-minute mark.
Well, Glenville, where's the offense going to come from? Rachel Reddick looks a little bit timid to shoot the ball. Wyatt has had trouble. Everybody else has gone cold.
Dillon for 3. Can't get the ball, but Filya, another offensive rebound. The putback. She can't convert, but Samira Filya, if there's a game ball right now, mine goes to her for all the work she's done underneath the rim tonight.
Well, she's just been a machine on the boards, pulling defensive rebounds, offensive rebounds, and then on top of that, getting putbacks and really converting after she pulls the board.
Samira Filya has 23 as she misses the front end of this 2-shot situation. 64% on the year from the stripe, 16 points a game, 7.2 rebounds a game, 21 blocks, averages over 2 assists a game. She's 1 of 2 from the line. It's now a 10-point basketball game, 66-56, and 4:45 separates California and a trip to the Elite 8.
And California really wearing Glenville down right now. Interesting we say that. Cal only plays 6 players at the most. They've had their starting 5 in here almost for the entire second half.
I believe they have.
Yeah, and that's how greatly conditioned they are. They can wear teams down, not even bring a substitute in.
Wyatt gets a pick, tries to find some room, but great defense there from Dillon. The referee started the 5 late, but McKinney is there for the air ball.
And Wyatt's just having a tough night. I mean, right now she has 13 points. She can't buy a basket. Right now, Rachel Reddick can't hit the broadside of a barn door, and Kelly Triplett has not even had a shot.
4 minutes left to go. Kick ball will reset. 4:04 left. 66-56 as Katie Martin checks back in. And a timeout is called by Coach Vincent, a 30-second timeout, and her team with a 10-point lead.
Yeah, and everybody in this gymnasium right now breathing a bit of a sigh of relief. They know it's not over yet. But with a 10-point lead now for the Lady Vulcans, everybody breathing a bit easier. Maybe that stomach isn't churning quite as much.
Mine's a little settled right now. A little bit more comfortable with this 10-point lead. As we mentioned, California only 1 time this year has blown a lead of more than 8 points.
And Ben, if California were to hang on to win this game, they would head to St. Joseph's, Missouri, somewhat of the promised land in Division II women's basketball. And the Elite 8, it will be held March 24th to the 27th. The winner of this region right here will face the winner of the North Central region, either South Dakota State or North Dakota, on Wednesday night, March 24th at 8 p.m. at the St. Joe Civic Center.
Fresh shot clock for California. It's now McKinney and Stork play catch in the backcourt. Nice motion offense here for Cal. Stork hounded by Reddick. Great defense by the redshirt freshman. 12 to shoot now for California. Simback down low, up and under. And they're going to get a held ball. And the arrow will stay with California as Simback and one of the Glenville players Have a little hello down in the paint.
Yeah, well, Simbeck, she's really had a rough tournament. She's been a human double-double, Ben, but she has gotten absolutely mugged down low. I mean, some of the things that have happened to her, got a shiner last weekend, and she's just taking bruises all over the place. A lot of people, I mean, you think would be in jail for the things they've done to Becky Simbeck.
Simbeck tries to explode up there, but the held ball is called. 10-point lead, 66-56. 3:41 to play. Go back to last year, that final was 76-67. So eerie how this game resembles last year. See if California can get a couple shots to ice this game.
And Ben, I want to take a second to say, to add to this environment, I want to thank right now on behalf of all the students, the SAI, the Student Activities Board. The students here, normally all PSAC games, they get in free with their student identification. The NCAA runs this gate. It is $7 for the students to get in, but the SAI, the Student Activities Board here at Cal, said any students that come, show them your ID card, we'll take care of the fee, and that really got these students out to the game. And what a nice gesture.
And credit the students as well. The student body for California has responded. We take a look at the section that was just on your screen. That's to the left and behind Steve and I, and they have been on their feet for the better part of this second half, and they have done an outstanding job of keeping California in this game from an emotional standpoint. As Steve Harold has to be wondering, is it deja vu all over again? Can lightning strike twice in the same place as California looks to go back to the Elite Eight? Dillon will inbound to Simbeck, and a great steal there by Katie Weimer.
And Glenville State, 3:35 left to play in the game, down 10. They are not out of this game by any stretch of the imagination.
Wyatt over to Reddick. To me, that's triplet. California extends. Now they're going straight man, it appears, Steve. Simbeck on the floor, gets right back up, and that's her girl that made the little jump shot off the window. That's Katie Weimer, her second basket of the game. She only has 4. 66-58 coming up on 3 to play.
And that's surprising. Weimer's had an incredible tournament so far. Really been quiet tonight.
McKinney slashes and hits the little runners. 22 for McKinney.
Let me tell you something, Ben. If we're playing a pickup game, I look no further than number 42. Oh, well, whoever picks first, you better believe that they'll take Sarah McKinney.
Triplet drives in, runs into some trouble, heaves it off, and no good.
And she is gone.
Foul. If that's on McKinney,
Sarah McKinney's just fouled out of this game.
And that's a tough call for California.
Watch right down here. If we lower the camera angle a little bit, they're going to say that McKinney just
boxed out, Steve.
Yeah. Well, she boxed out, pushed. I'm not even sure who that was. Might have been Reddick to the baseline.
How can you call push when her back's to the player?
Well, I don't know. I mean, maybe a little over-aggressive box out. The other thing I can think of was that, let's say that was Reddick for Glenville State. If she jumped and was in the air, then they might have justification for getting you, if you come underneath, try to undercut. But if she was stationary, that's a simple box out.
Sarah McKinney finishes with 22 points, at least 10 rebounds, and who knows what else to pad the stats tonight, as she hopes her team can keep her in this tournament. 2:42 to play as McKinney gets a great hand from the Cal Crazies behind the California bench.
Well, really a heroic effort tonight by McKinney, basically putting the road to St. Joseph's on her shoulders, and there's a turnover.
This will be California basketball. 2:38 to play, 10-point lead for the Vulcans.
And California can all but smell it right now. It is so close, it's under their fingertips. If they can just hold Glenville off for 2 minutes and 38 seconds more.
Campbell back in, replacing Martin. It'll be Gattuso, Dillon, Stork, Filia, and Becky Simbeck on the floor. Dillon and Gattuso have not scored tonight, and Stork over and back.
My gracious.
Wow.
And Coach Darcy Vincent not upset at the referee, although there might have been a push. She's upset at Megan Stork for not getting behind the line. Watch Megan Stork come into your picture. As a point guard, you cannot curl to the basketball. You have to get behind the half-court line.
And that's a three-point basket.
That was
huge. Katie Weimer with the biggest basket she's made in this tournament. And now it looks like Glenville's going to foul. 68-61, a 7-point game. Reddick will get called for the foul, her second. And maybe I think Coach Harold wants to get count in that bonus situation. They had a foul to give and took it there.
Well, you have to understand how big it is that Sarah McKinney went to the bench, fouling out. Megan Stork now at the line for a 1-and-1. Glenville, 3 more fouls they commit will still be 1-and-1s. A lot of pressure here to step up and knock it down.
The Vulcans with only 6, and Stork an 80% shooter from the line. Back rim, no good, and it's rebounded by Reddick.
It is so tough to step up to that line, baby, and knock the free throws down.
It was Jenny Morrison, who's now a coach for California, who made those last year down the stretch. See if Stork can get her mentor's energy and come up where it counts later on.
What you do not want to do is foul here for California.
Jump ball, the arrow stays with Glenville as Simbeck gets tied up with, I believe that's number 30, Weimer. The held ball will go to Glenville.
And Becky Simbeck has to be careful, still play aggressive, but she has 4 fouls as well. 1 more on her and she'll be taking a seat.
Wyatt, the long inbound pass, picked up by Triplett. Wyatt gets a nice screen there from Campbell.
Oh, great stutter step.
Little pull-up is good, and that's just a big-time move. It's a 5-point game, and a timeout called by Coach Steve Harold. 68-63, Steve, 1:46 left to go in the East Regional Final from Hamer Hall.
Well, Glenville is not out of this, and you have to re-emphasize, Sarah McKinney fouled out at the 2:48 mark of this half. She has been the primary offensive weapon for California. Who do they go to get a big basket? You'd have to think Felia or Simbeck.
And right now, Simbeck's had a subpar scoring game for her, only 8 tonight, but that was just a huge shot from Wyatt. And big players come up in big situations, and that's what Wyatt did there.
Well, we talk about for both teams scoring the big 3. You look at California, McKinney fouled out with 22 points. Felia has 24. Megan Stork has 14. Simbeck, a little bit of an off-scoring night. And then you look over at Glenville. You have Wyatt with 15, Triplett with 20, and Reddick with 16. A lot of balance for both teams.
Down the other way, and Filia is attacked on the play by Triplett. Now be 4 on Carrie Triplett.
And a smart play right there by Glenville. You do not want to give up the open layup. You send Felia to the line for 1-and-1. She's in the mid-60 percentile range at the line.
And that 4th foul on Triplett's big too. She leads all Glenville scores with 20 points. Leading scorer from Cal has fouled out McKinney. See if California can answer that at Glenville's best player right now. Filia calmly knocks it down.
These are big free throws.
On the day, Samira is now 5 of 5 from the line.
Well, she has really stepped up in the clutch and knocked down these big-time free throws, but this one's going to be off.
I knew it. Rebounded nicely by Katie Weimer. It's a 6-point game, 1:35 left to play.
And Coach Darcy Vincent asking for some crowd noise. The crowd will oblige.
Swing it over to Reddick. Nice little ball fake. She'll pull up. Too strong up the window. Ball is tipped all the way out. Stork does a nice job, and it will be Glenville basketball. And the referee was right there, Steve. So we'll take a look on replay.
Yeah, that was a great hustle by both players, both Reddick and Stork. This is a tough call most of the time, as Reddick does a nice job to make sure to try to pick it up back court, not in the front court. But you see Stork, probably a good call to knock it out of bounds.
1:15 now left to play. Fresh shot clock for the Lady Pioneers. Wyatt shows baseline, but nowhere to go.
What a great
little
spin back.
hesitation move. 3 seconds. Weimer from the foul line is no good. Simbeck with the rebound and is fouled quickly. As we get into the final minute of play, 57.7 seconds left. And the 5th-year senior, Becky Simbeck, the reigning player of the year, 2-time All-American, has a couple free throws that could ice this game.
Well, this is so big. Glenville, I mean, you got to give credit to them. They have open shots. They just haven't been falling. And California has stepped up in this second half and really shot the ball extremely well, rebounded well, getting to the line, and they're knocking down their free throws.
All top in from Campbell, offense for defense. Right now it's a 6-point game. This would make it a 3-possession game, and it was good.
Big time free throws. That's what the 5th-year senior does for you.
On the season, Becky at 76%. 2 of 2. 71-63. The lead is 8. 55 seconds left.
You got to think 3-pointer right now for Glenville. Quick 3. They miss a 3 right here. This one's over.
Wyatt finds some room. Simbeck backs off and she misses the layup. Gattuso rebounds and she is tackled from behind.
And it looks like for Glenville State, this one, Ben, should we say it?
Not yet.
Not yet, okay, we're gonna hold off. 43.1 seconds left, 71-63.
Great toughness there from Gattuso.
Gattuso really seen limited action, hasn't even been in the game that much tonight. But when she gets in here, let's see if she can make her appearance count by knocking down some free throws.
Indeed she does. It's a 9-point game. 72-63.
I'll tell you what, this has been an interesting game. A lot of fouls called. We've already had some people fouling out and being reunited with their favorite tree. That'd be pine. But is it too little too late right here? Reddick with a miss.
Filyaw rebounds, gets the ball to Stork, and they'll have to foul. Stork does a nice job of dribbling out of trouble, and she will get the foul. And Megan Stork with 28.5 seconds. Steve, you may.
And Ben, as you've said many times on this broadcast, it'll be my turn tonight to say it. This one, ladies and gentlemen, is in the barn.
You can hear the crowd. We'll just let it speak for itself right now. Stork, a little extra incentive in that one. 10-point game.
And there is an eruption ready to take place at Hamer Hall in these last 28 seconds.
How about Stork with 18 points? We'll have all the post-game activities as Wyatt airballs a three. It's rebounded by Filyaw. Gattuso tries to dribble out. To Simbeck, 12 seconds as Glenville backs out. Big players come up in big games. And so do big teams. Second straight row, the California Dynasty heads to the Elite Eight.
And the students rush the court. What a sight it is.
And right now, Steve, I think it's best just to let the pictures tell the story. The number 1 seed out of the East, the number 3 team in the country, the team with the second longest home winning streak, a team that would not be denied on their home floor, has advanced to the Elite Eight in St. Joseph's, Missouri. 74-63. California beats Glenville State College.
And it's only appropriate to acknowledge the effort that both teams gave. It was really incredible. Glenville State put their heart and soul into this game, played as hard as they possibly could. They just ran into, in my opinion, a little bit better team in the Lady Vulcans.
Right now we're talking about Megan Stork, commenting on the fact that she broke the single season assist record tonight. She also broke the 800-point mark in her career, only a sophomore. And Becky Simbeck has chipped in. She will go over 2,000 for her career after the next game. As you take a look at President Angelo Armeni getting set to award the trophies for California. As they announce the all-conference team, Tracy Wyatt, Rachel Reddick from Glenville.
Both those players put their heart and soul into this game. What a gutty performance throughout this tournament.
And Sarah McKinney, the player of the year in the PSAC, gets recognized. And Samira Filyaw has been named the tournament's most outstanding player in a 25-point performance tonight. And how many rebounds underneath her own hoop did she pull down tonight?
Well, it's only fitting. Filyaw has just been the dominating force on the boards, outshined everybody else as she just outscored, out-rebounded, out-dominated every person, every inside player that she's gone up against.
Second team, all-region, academic, all-American. Oh, almost a perfect GPA as the rest of the team does. And a nice, classy move here. Both teams will shake hands, and Wyatt and McKinney lead the embrace. Two world-class players right there.
And both these teams understand they have such mutual respect for each other. You mean, when they're on the court, they may not like each other that much, but off the court and after the game, they just have so much mutual respect. They admire each other the way they play so much.
You could see Wyatt talk to Megan Stork. She said, go all the way. And it's expected, Steve. 3 games halfway home between California and cutting the nets down in St. Joseph.
And there's such a sense of pride in this gymnasium. You see the administrators, Barry Nicolai, Tim Suzik. You see Dr. Angelo Armeni, the school's president. You see Dr. Tom Pucci, the athletic director, all beaming with smiles. Coach Darcy Vincent, obviously elated. And everybody's just so thrilled to see this team advance to the Elite Eight and hopefully make that run at the national title.
And from all of us at CUTV to everybody watching, as well as the California Lady Vulcans, it's been our privilege to call these games this year and present them to you. We have the best crew in the world, Steve, and all of us so tight. We're like a family.
Well, we run a first-class operation here, Ben. I mean, we run one of the top TV stations in the country. Credit all our cameramen, our director, everyone that works with our crew. And it has been, as you mentioned, such a privilege for me to watch these Lady Vulcans play, excel, the men's team as well. This is my first year here at California, and I already have a sense of pride for this team. And whenever I talk about it to my family or any of my other friends at different schools, I talk about these teams with pride.
Our camera crew tonight, Paul Genu on camera 1. The Husk, Ken McLean running camera 2 as Samir Filia gets the second of 2 nets started, or the second of 3 nets for California started. On camera 3, K-Dog John Couture ran first half, and Joe Rubel on camera 3. The rest of our crew throughout the year, Steve Kreider to my left, who's been a breath of fresh air for CUTV. Randy Schallenberger, who's run camera all year. Bob Mikowski, Rich Bogart. Of course, Adam Balkam and I called I don't know how many games together in these last couple years. Karina Stewart, Mark Mattress, Matt Malik, Corey Barn. Kevin Jacobson from the California Times has called a couple games this year. He's also helped us out tremendously, providing stats throughout the year. Our radio engineers at WVCS, Crystal Rupp and Jamie Kopacek. Thanks to everybody. Our director, Gary, the other member of the Truth Commission, Smith. An outstanding job all year, taking all of us and putting up with all of us on many a long truck drive. And also a special thanks to the Assistant Dean of Media Services, J.R. Wheeler, our boss. Thank you for all his help as California gets the net down. You saw Erin Dillon. Didn't have the big game that they expected from her after last game against Barton, but got into foul trouble tonight, but they wouldn't be here if she wasn't hitting those threes all season long.
Well, no, you have to look beyond this game to look at the real contributions of Erin Dillon. I mean, she has been consistently shooting the three-point shot well all through the season, really carried them against Barton, gave them a humongous lift. Tonight, the shot was off, but Ben, she still played 35 minutes in the game. Why is that? She does the intangibles. Defense, rebounding, plays with all kinds of heart out there.
You take a look at Megan Stork, an outstanding season yet again, broke 2 school records, on her way to a 1,000-point career. How did she get out here from the East Coast? How many coaches are kicking themselves?
And PSAC coaches are probably just cringing, thinking that she's a sophomore, has 2 more years to go in a Cal uniform.
Devin Powers gets her piece of the net. Kristen Calervo, those role players that California also has the privilege of practicing and the luxury of practicing against players that are as good as some of the players that they play on a weekly basis throughout the PSAC.
Well, we've said many times that you take California's second team, 3 or 4 of them could be starting for most teams in the PSAC. That's how good they are. And it's just a great scene right here at Hamer Hall. As you see Nicole Gross, they're going to rely on her next year heavily to fulfill some of the gaps in the post that will be left by Simback and Filia.
All the way from Aurora, Colorado. And another player who we think has huge upside.
Absolutely.
Defensive stopper Danny Mills, number 15 out of Brantford, Ontario, Canada. Does a lot of those little things that Coach Vincent loves.
Well, I don't know how the Border Patrol let her get across, Ben. I mean, you think somebody in Canada would want her on their team, but we're glad she's here at Cal.
Now Dr. Bruce Barnard, who's done a fabulous job keeping this team healthy and keeping Becky Simback in one piece for these last few weeks. He gets a well-deserved hunk of netting.
As they play, we are the champions in the background. And you know what, as sweet as this is, Ben, for California, they are not resting their laurels on this game. They want to advance. In their minds, 3 more games are what's left.
As the appetizer has been eaten, the side salad is gone, the dinner bread has been exasperated.
Don't tell that to our friend Dustin Devine.
It's time for the 22-ounce porterhouse that Ken could eat in 4 minutes.
Or 11 minutes.
Thank you. Assistant Coach Andy Gross gets her share of the netting. Heather Carney should be next. former PSAC Player of the Year, the associate head coach of this team. Played for Coach Vincent at Slippery Rock. Followed her here. As Coach Vincent will tell you, she's the reason the low post game is as good as it is. And finally, last but not least, should be next, the two-time PSAC West Coach of the Year, making her third appearance, second straight year, head coach Darcy Vincent.
And what a job she has done. You take a look at Coach Vincent, took Slippery Rock to an Elite 8 appearance in only 4 years, came to Cal 4 years ago and has turned them into a national power in such a short time. What a coach, what a woman, and what a great woman, Ben. I mean, she is so personable, so nice to work with. She is just a great humanitarian in the community. She's just an all-around great person.
Coach Vincent now Coach Vincent now 109 and 19 in 4 seasons. Two Elite 8 appearances, 3 straight PSAC tournaments. And it also Coach Vincent's birthday.
And we're going to sing, the entire crowd is going to sing happy birthday to Coach Vincent.
We're not singing, we'll let them.
We're going to let them sing. They probably have better voices than we do.
Halfway home for Coach Vincent. And just an outstanding atmosphere. We said standing room only crowd. Give the fans and the students watching this game when it's played on CUTV should just really give themselves a pat on the back and some applause. They earned it. They were the 6th man tonight for California. And at no time did they get down. At no time did they get quiet. It was loud in here from about 5:30 on. And it still is loud.
And that's why the home winning streak here at Cal has stayed intact for so long, because they have great fans, great people that come out and support this team. And this gym, Hamer Hall, has turned into one of the special places to play in Division II college basketball.
You talk about Cameron in D1 for the Dukies. Hamer Hall is just as good, just as dangerous a place to play. And now let's look ahead, Steve. I think it's safe for us to look ahead now. California will play the winner of the North Central region, which is going on as we speak. 2 quality teams in South Dakota State, North Dakota. North Dakota number 6, South Dakota State, the reigning champions.
Absolutely. Now, we don't know very much about those 2 teams, but you better believe that in the next week to come, Coach Vincent will have the scouting reports on whichever team wins that game. But you know what, Ben, right now, maybe we should just stop looking ahead. It'll be a great environment, but maybe for just one night we should celebrate what happened here, because this was a great accomplishment, a very tough Glenville State team that California just knocked off.
And those games will be Wednesday, Thursday, and Saturday of next week. All those games will be heard live as they happen on WVCS, as well as on the internet at wvcs.cup.edu. Any questions or concerns regarding transportation, busing out to Missouri, what have you, contact Sports Information Director Dave Smith. He can take care of you and answer your questions there. But like you said, Steve, I think it's time for us to savor this. We get a week off. We get a little bit of a break. It's our last full crew shoot. Again, we want to thank everybody. We want to thank all our friends here at CUTV. Outstanding job from top to bottom.
Well, I too want to echo that. Thank everybody, from everyone that's worked camera to our director inside, Mr. Gary Smith. Not sucking up here at all, Ben, but Gary, you made it really, really great for me to come in and work. And this guy right here, he's been my helper all year. He's been my mentor.
And
Ben Slays.
And we got the whole crew here. We got AB back from North Carolina. Rich is somewhere behind me. Thank God's Bob behind me. And from all of us here at CUTV to all of you, thank you for a tremendous season. We'll see you in Missouri. One final time, California is victorious, 74-63, second straight NCAA East Region champions. For Steve Kreider, I'm Ben Slays. Good night, God bless. See everybody next time on CUTV. Good night, see you in St. Joseph.